surgery isn't covered by anybody's health insurance, and because it's an eye surgery, it's considered elective, it's considered a quality of life issue. And so I became an expert in how to call around and use competition to drive the cost down. And what started out as a $5,000 procedure in northern Indiana, we ended up paying $3,500 for, because we were leveraging one clinic against another clinic, and because it's a cash-only rule and a self-pay rule, then the price came down pretty quickly because of competition. And doctors will tell you right now, those folks who have HSAs are some of the best, most informed patients, because they're in control of their money, they're taking control of their destiny, they're the ones deciding what they want done and what they don't want done. And we're going to have to bite into the insurance control and the control the insurance companies have over everybody's health care. And one of the things that has been productive is HSAs. So why would we not incentivize folks to have HSAs? Why would we, in the first Pelosi health care bill that Joe Donnelly voted for, they banned HSAs. And they basically said, no, HSAs are going to be taken off the table. Well, that's the one little program that works, so why would we not take that and expand it? And that's just one example. There's many examples. And the other example, it literally is allowing all prices to be transparent today. Congress could do that today. Everybody in that Congress, everybody in the House would vote for it, and it would allow people like me and you to shop around and have the same advantages our insurance companies do when they bundle pricing and they drive their costs down by negotiating pricing with hospitals and doctors' offices for procedures. So there's many ways of doing this. We're just not talking about those. We're talking about something entirely different at the federal level.
228-1430, 1-866-440-1430. Jackie Walorski, our guest this morning. Jackie, running the Republican primary in Indiana's 2nd congressional district. That's sort of the north central part of the state. Jackie, one of the other things that we talk about is, of course, any candidate running for Congress is the issue of spending. Report out yesterday that the Obama administration has spent about in 420 days what the Bush administration spent in the last 4 years. How do we get a hold on spending? Seeing how so much of it is non-discretionary. It's Social Security, it's Medicare, it's Medicaid, it's the interest on the debt, and it's Homeland Security, and things like the Department of Education, Agriculture, et cetera, is really a small percentage of what's really eating at this country's financial situation.
Well, but Abdul, part of the spending was also a massive stimulus plan of taxpayers' money that was distributed around the country, and the results of that are still up in the air. And part of the spending is another one, the massive mandated programs that are coming down the pike, like $1 trillion health care program. And unfortunately, you have to do what's a very unpopular thing we've done in Indiana. I've done it for the last 6 years in Indiana, which is hold the line on spending and follow our Constitution, which says you have to have a balanced budget, and you freeze it. The first thing you do at the federal level is you freeze it, and you don't spend and allocate another dime, and you start shrinking back the size of that federal government like we've done in the state of Indiana. When people say it can't be done, I point to what we've done in the past 6 years in this state under the direction and with the leadership of the governor. We've gone in 5 years from 35,000 employees to 30, and we've shrunk down the size of state government. And my suggestion is going to be for next year, even in Indiana, Abdul, when times are tough and they're going to be looking at tax increases, is to start slashing those Indiana state departments by up to 50% and literally shrink them back. There are departments and there are things that need to be cut. And is it going to hurt? Yeah, it's going to hurt. But you know what? The American people are tired of paying the bill. They're tired of having everything balanced on their back. And I think if we come up with a plan at the federal level and say, okay, we're going to cut some of these departments by 50%, would you? It's going to be tough. It's going to be brutal. But would you rather have a 50% cut at the federal level, or would you rather have a 20% increase in your taxes? The American people are going to say, cut this federal government back. And it works in Indiana. It's got to work at the federal level. There's no other option because nobody can sustain this spending. This spending pattern, Abdul, will absolutely impact Hoosiers. It'll impact what happens in the next General Assembly because the mandates and the trickle down is going to cost Hoosier taxpayers a phenomenal amount of money. And my district up here can't sustain it, and the second district certainly can't sustain it. And Indiana's on too thin of a margin right now to sustain it past 2011. So, people are going to feel this loud and clear. Is it going to hurt? Yes, it's going to hurt. Is it going to be necessary? Yeah. Free on the size of the federal government. Jackie
Walorski has been our guest this morning. Jackie running in the 2nd congressional district. Jackie, I do this for every candidate that stops by. Somebody wants to get some more information about you. How can they find it?
Well, I'd appreciate it if they go to standwithjackie.com. That is www.standwithjackie.com. Check us out. It's a very interactive website. And Abdul, I appreciate the chance to be on here. I just, I'm walking around this week and to any group I can talk to, and I'm really wondering where Joe Donnelly is on this issue. He's been AWOL And I expect, like what I've done in the General Assembly, I've stood up to Pat Bauer, the Speaker of the House, many times. I've stood up to my own party. I expect Joe Donnelly to represent the 2nd District and stand up to Nancy Pelosi and tell her to quit pulling these bags of tricks out and to be transparent with the American public. And he's absolutely not doing that. And I think that, I appreciate the opportunity just to chat with you for a few minutes and hold it accountable.
All right. Well, Jackie, like I said, we're always happy to talk with candidates. Hopefully we can speak at least one more time before the primary.
I appreciate it. Thanks so much.
All right. Thank you. Take care.